Yeah, but
and Jolteon, who's just like a lime green.
Yeah, but see, the thing I like about shiny Glaceon is that it's basically the same.
I will say it looks actually a little better.
Yeah.
Like it's a little lighter in body color,
Yeah.
and the blues are a little darker, so it actually looks better in my opinion. But really, I like Espeon.
Yeah.
I used to hate Espeon shiny until Scarlet and Violet, where now it's a darker green than it used to be.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just a little bit, and it's way more pleasant looking. I named mine Lime Skittle
Nice.
because it's like a dark green. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast.
We decided to forego the audio test. We're winging it and hoping it works.
If the bunnies come and destroy everything, well, you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use the timer I have going right now for my tea for the podcast.
Well, there you go.
So just to take off 2.5 minutes here.
Yeah.
This is a very on the fly podcast.
Yep.
I said, Brian, are we recording? Brian, I'm at your house. Are we recording?
I'm like, sure, let's do it. Why not?
I was just waiting outside to see if he would say yes or not. I'm like, I can drive home. I'll do it.
You don't know this, but Nicolai does this every night, actually.
Yeah,
he just
I
waits outside
always
the house.
wait outside. Answer me, Brian. So, hey, it's the Brothers Game. I'm the Nicolai part of the Brothers Game.
I'm the Brian part.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We're brothers.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Brothers Game Podcast.
Yeah.
Is your mind blown?
Yeah. I mean, we're only half brothers.
Actually,
but calling
we
it
are.
the Half Brothers Game Podcast just didn't sound
Not
right.
the same ring to it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where technically we're half brothers, but we grew up together in the same house.
So we might as well be.
Feels like
brothers.
full,
Yeah.
My wife had a full brother until she found out that her father wasn't her real father.
Yes, right. That was interesting.
So that was cool. Anyway, that's a long story that I won't get into.
Yeah.
So what's up, brother?
What's up?
Like Drake and Josh, get it?
Yeah. I understand.
They weren't related at all, though.
Yeah.
So we've been both playing Pokemon White, too.
Yeah, it turns out.
That's cool.
That's just how it worked out.
I've been doing that, and I didn't know you were also doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I started without your knowledge.
I'll update on Scarlet and Violet, because I haven't abandoned that or anything.
Whereas I have.
Well, because I'm not done.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through the gym battles, like rebattling the gyms.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I'm almost done with all the classes. I've been doing the classes.
Going to school.
Yeah, I've been going to school, which has, like most people said, it's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable.
Oh, I thought it was really boring.
Oh, I think it's a good way to get some story and stuff.
I thought doing the whole
Obviously, the
social link kind of thing
Yeah.
with the teachers. I liked that part, but
I count all that together.
The
basically.
classes were just like, okay, I know all of this.
Right. A couple of them.
It was kind of like
oh,
when
yeah.
I was in real school, and I also do all of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked some of it, especially the history class that you didn't, stuff you didn't know
Yeah,
about.
I guess because it was about Paldea and
Yeah,
stuff specifically.
that was cool.
So
That
that
was
was
cool.
interesting. Yeah,
Giving more story to the
teacher's
legendaries.
weird.
She's cool.
Yeah,
I always thought I think she's really cool.
it's so funny if you approach her without having taken any of her classes. She just is like, "You must be crazy to talk to me" or something like that.
Yeah, you were bothered by that.
Yeah. Well, and so then I did it again after I was champion, and again had not taken any of her classes. She said the same thing. It was like, "Do you know who you're talking to? I'm the champion, man.
Do you know who you're? How dare
Do you know who I
How
am?
dare
How dare you?"
I do love that everyone calls you champion.
Yes, that
At
is
that
awesome.
point, I think that's cool. It's like, yeah, remember that I'm the champion. Like, that's kind of a big deal in this world. Hello, yeah. So yeah, still shiny hunting off and on as well. I kind of have a goal to get every shiny evolution. Speaking of our beginning, right now I have 2,
Yeah.
2 out of the 8. So that'll take a little bit.
I'm just, for the moment, I'm just done with Scarlet and Violet. I'm moving on to other things.
How dare you? How dare you? There's a lot of rumors of DLC coming out soon. There's leaks of possible. These are just leaks, and they're often untrue. So I'm just going to say them because they're probably not true anyway.
Right.
But of paradox forms of the dogs coming out, the legendary dogs.
Oh, like Entei, Raikou, and
Suicune,
Suicune. Nice.
Which would be pretty sweet. I would totally be into that. I love when they did the Galarian birds I thought those were really cool in Sword and Shield. So
Sword and Moon and
Sword and Moon,
Sun and Shield.
yeah, I really like Blue and Sapphire. I think those were great generations.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about more Pokemon
Yeah.
because that's all we talk about apparently.
Well, I mean, that's what we are. We are the Pokemon podcast. That's what
guess.
we've become.
I guess. So sorry to everyone who doesn't like Pokemon.
Sorry, it's just all we do.
Sorry,
every-
not sorry.
All day, every
Oh
day.
snap! Gotta catch them
I
all.
just wake up and all I can do is gotta catch them all.
That's all I can think about. It's funny that we talk about Pokemon constantly, but we have not mentioned and won't talk about at length the Ash situation.
Oh yeah, Ash
How
leaving the
Ash
anime.
is leaving the anime and all this stuff
No.
because we just don't. We're not children, so we don't watch
neither
the anime.
neither of us have followed the anime since like 1999.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, it very much is a kid show still.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's just not
yeah,
Really.
it's sadly not that great.
right. I mean, there's people who love it. I get that.
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
I'd actually love
I
to
don't have time
watch
for
it
that.
in Japanese sometime.
Yeah,
and
I wonder if that's better.
See what it's like.
Yeah. Interesting. But anyway, I'll mention it briefly. That's kind of cool. I'm glad that it's actually coming to an end
I'm
because,
shocked it didn't
can't-
happen sooner.
yeah, you can't make those things go forever.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm just surprised that they didn't do this like at the start of Johto. Or,
Yeah, it's like, really now? Now is when
Yeah.
you're... Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So we're both playing Pokemon White 2.
Now, what is that? You're like, I don't even know what to say to that. I was just kind of curious what you would say
What
to
are
that.
things?
So what is white?
What is the color brown?
Why'd you pick white? I'm curious. Since you're playing it on ROM, you can
Because
pick whatever
I
you want.
played black.
Oh, okay.
And so I decided to pick White 2.
Nice. I always pick the second version, basically. So, I mean, so white was an obvious choice. I actually have a cartridge of white 2,
Yeah.
which is the most expensive, that and black 2 is the most expensive, like, mainline Pokemon game.
Yeah.
The main generation games. But it's worth it, you know? It's an investment. Okay, this thing's worth its weight in gold, so I'm just going to have that.
Yeah. It's like I'll probably play Ultra Sun instead of Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
I played Moon, but I'm probably going to play Ultra Sun.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Get them now while they're still cheap.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. So I feel like for me, Pokemon Black. So I've played every generation. I haven't played every single game because I haven't played White. I haven't played Sapphire to completion. I have played it. I haven't played Emerald or Crystal or Platinum
Right?
or Pearl.
Yeah. We do have to give Platinum a try sometime.
Yeah, a couple of these
yeah.
other ones, but I've played every generation, and for me, Gen 5 was the least memorable. Not the worst. We've said multiple times we think Diamond and Pearl were the worst Pokemon games, and I stand by that. But it was at least more memorable than Pokemon Black.
So interesting.
The starters are the least memorable for me. Like, I always have to go, what were the Gen 5 starters again? I'll look them up and go, right,
that's
it's
funny.
these three that I
will
remember.
agree that they're the worst set of starters.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have anything against them.
right.
It's
Oh,
just,
no. I
yeah.
don't dislike them. I'm just
Yeah.
saying they're the weakest, like, in design and feel for me personally.
And just like the cities and the gym leaders and the Elite Four, none of them were memorable to me at all.
I feel like I'm having like the opposite experience to you. It's so funny.
That's funny because I would go on Bulbapedia and go, who's the Elite Four for Gen 5 again? It's like, oh right, I don't remember any of these characters.
I will say I rarely remember who the Elite Four is in most games. Like,
Well,
I couldn't tell you what the Gen 3 Elite Four are, honestly. So I'm just I just don't
Yeah.
sort of remember those things. I
Honestly,
guess.
I don't really remember the
Yeah,
Gen
exactly.
3 ones either, but
But,
I
like-
played Gen 3 very little.
Like Sun and Moon, some of my favorite games. I'm trying to remember who the Elite Four are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, I just don't retain that information.
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot about the Pokemon in that game, but that's funny. I know that the cool little purple-haired ghost girl's in it. She's cool.
Yeah.
I keep
But,
wanting
yeah.
to call her Agatha, but that's not her name.
Right. No, that's Gen 1.
But yeah, she's in it. The Mimikyu girl, she's cool.
It's funny, just like by comparison, when I am on my deathbed, if somebody was
Lance.
like, "Hey, who was the original? Who was the Elite Four in Gen 1?" Oh, it was Lorelei, Bruno, Agatha, Lance.
Yeah. Easy.
I will never forget them. I will never forget their team lineups. I will never forget any of that. And yet, every other generation, like, who was the Elite Four again?
I think that's probably just replaying them over and over, I guess. Yeah.
I'm sure that's like 90% of that. But
And I feel like Gen 1 characters are just more ubiquitous.
yeah. Well, and so like Cynthia is memorable.
For sure.
I think
Yeah,
there are
very
some
memorable
characters
character.
in the games that have a lot of
They really
personality
stick
to
out.
them, and they like, yeah, they have the. Because like I haven't seen Cynthia in the anime at all
Right.
either, so like I
mean,
only
she's
know
in
her
there,
from
but
the
yeah.
games. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, and I think N in Gen 5 is pretty
Yep.
memorable just because he's a weirdo, kind of. It's like, oh, he's evil, but he's not evil.
Yeah.
And he talks to Pokemon. I don't know. This guy's crazy. He's green hair.
yeah,
But yeah, I get that. I'm starting to remember some gym leaders and stuff because of the cards, actually, because of the card
Oh.
game.
okay.
Because a lot of gym leaders have
Oh, right,
trainer
yeah.
cards and stuff. And there's some really nice, full art trainer cards where I'm like, where I can really put the name to the face and
Yeah.
like remember that character. So that's actually helped some, and it's why I remembered. I was looking forward to facing Roxy
yeah.
in White 2, who's the poison gym leader. She's like the rock star one.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was because of a card though.
Yeah.
There's a really cool coughing card with her and stuff. But yeah, so
It's funny when you walk into her gym and it sounds very Japanese, the music.
I actually wanted to bring up a cool fun fact about the music in that gym because I noticed it right away when I got in there. I was like, this is cool. Like
Yeah.
they're playing a song, like, and she's
Yeah.
singing lyrics. So in the English game that we were playing, she is spelling out Pokemon. Pokemon. Pokemon is what she's saying. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. It's a Pokemon game. It's cool because when you talk to the drummer to fight them, the drums go out of the
Yeah.
song and stuff. So little things like that are really nice.
Yeah.
But I was listening to it on YouTube because I wanted to hear it again because I liked it. And there was the Japanese version also. So I listened to that, and it's totally different and is way cooler
Oh, yeah.
in Japanese. In Japanese, she's spelling out Dogars, Dogars, which
Okay.
is Coughing's name in Japanese.
Oh,
That's his Japanese name. And there's like a deep voice in the background of the song while she's singing. And it doesn't really make sense in the English one. And you're like, it just sounds like weird, I don't know, synthesized voices. But it's obvious in the Japanese one that that's her coughing, singing with her. Because coughing is like her partner Pokemon, And so like it's a song with her and her coughing singing about him, And I'm like, that is so much cooler than the English one.
yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was a cool fun fact that her and her coughing are best friends. Her and her Dogars. Anyway, speaking of that. So where are you at so far?
So I beat her gym and I'm just a little past that. I did the movie thing.
Yeah, the movie thing, which was okay.
Yeah.
I never love, those types of things necessarily.
Yeah.
Like the beauty contests and stuff,
Yeah.
I never really did much and stuff like that.
I just got through the sewers underneath the
Yeah.
big city.
Yep. with your the man, there's a lot of encounters in that sewer. I feel like
Yes,
I feel
there
like the
are.
rate of encounters are constant,
Yeah.
especially because I want to explore like the whole place.
It's funny, we were both commenting on how when we were teaming up with our rival down
Dude,
there,
yeah.
that our rival was cleaning up.
What a beast!
And it's funny because most of the time your rival is such a pushover.
Yeah,
I do want to
yeah.
mention this has been the hardest Pokemon
hard.
game I've played. That's just a
I'm
mainline Pokemon
under
game.
leveled. I am so
I'm
under leveled.
always under leveled in this game.
I am always under leveled, which is cool. I gotta work.
Yeah.
I gotta work hard.
But
to play this
unfortunately,
Pokemon
it's like,
game.
oh, that just means now I have to grind. I hate
But
it.
do you know about the Adinos in the shaking grass,
Oh yeah,
bro? You can if you run back and forth, not in the grass, they'll
yeah.
shake more often. And you go in there and there's an Adino who just levels up your Pokemon twice. Like it's pretty sweet. I gotta say, they're worth farming because it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
To level up a Pokemon. Just throwing that out there.
I think they also give you a decent number of. They give you HP EVs.
They give you HP EVs. Yeah, exactly. Really nice. I just got to Nimbasa, which is just after Route 4, so I'm barely ahead of you.
Yeah.
Do you know what your Pokedex is at? Do you happen to know?
Oh, it's,
Off the top of your head?
it's got to be really low.
Yeah.
I haven't
Really
caught,
caught anything?
anything other than my team. So.
Okay. I'm trying to like actually do the Pokedex.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes I do that.
I usually don't in older games, but I
Yeah.
always do in newer games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying
I
it.
do it every time I play a new Pokemon
Yeah.
game.
I'm really trying to actually experience this game instead of just kind of blowing through it. And that's helping a lot, helping me like it more, I think. So really taking my time with it. I'm like over 60 hours into the game.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I'm barely past
I'm
the-
only
the
about 10
third
hours
gym.
in.
So yeah, I'm really taking my time with it.
I metagamed my team from the beginning to be geared towards the Elite Four, which is what I've done ever since Gen. Everything after Gen 2, I've done that way.
Which is understandable. That
Because
is
the
the
Elite
end
Four is
goal.
always so much harder than everything else that you want your team geared towards that.
And it is sort of the final challenge or whatever.
And
so.
it's interesting. You really get all the coverage you need for just the Elite Four, not including the champion, with just like 3 types.
That's pretty good. Like, it's pretty easy.
If you've got a dark type, a fighting type, I think, and a flying type.
Flying.
Or fire type, you'd
very similar.
have coverage against the whole thing.
Nice.
All 4 of them, and then the champion throws a wrench and all that, and so
Yeah.
with like dragon types, for
Yeah.
instance.
Pretty tough champion, I've heard,
Yeah.
in this game.
And
so.
of course, it's pre-Gen 6, so there's no fairy types. So
Right.
your best shot is a dragon type or an ice type.
Right.
And so an ice type has always been a staple in my team. Well, not an ice type Pokemon, but a Pokemon capable of learning an ice type
At least
move.
a good ice move, yeah.
Preferably a water type Pokemon, which
Usually,
I often choose the water starter anyway. So Samurott will be my ice type, my pseudo ice type.
Yeah, does he learn any good ice moves? Like,
There are TMs you can teach him, like Ice Beam.
Ice Beam, okay. Isn't he like a physical attacker, though?
Only a little. His
okay.
physical's only slightly higher
Okay.
than his special attack, so it's not too bad.
That's cool.
I think I had a Zebstrika in black, but
Yeah.
they made Zebstrika harder to get in black to white too. So I'm going with an Ampharos.
Yeah,
which is
I have
one
not
of my
come
favorite
across
electric types.
one yet, so.
Yeah, you can't get its pre-evolution, so you have to just
at all.
catch a
Zebstrika,
and you can then breed.
Pretty
if you
late in the
want
game, though,
early
probably.
But like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see the point. So, because I also always try to get my team as early in the game as possible to maximize EV yield. So I've got my starter. It's going to be Samurott right now. It's Oshawott. Duat, yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. I love his mid-evolution.
Yeah, I like it. So I have Duat.
Somewhat's meh.
I have Flaffy. I have Pidove.
Yeah.
I have who was my Riolu.
Oh yeah.
Because I was gonna get like sock or something, but again, I didn't want to wait that long.
Yeah. You get them pretty late.
Yeah,
And Lucario is a beast.
yeah.
So
And then who was my dark type? All right, Purloin.
Purloin, yeah, you get that early.
Yeah, because finding any other dark type that early in the game was going to be difficult.
Lipard's
so.
not great.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But
It's fast at least.
yeah.
So I'll go over my team. I picked Snivy, who I've never picked before.
Yeah.
But looking at Superior and stuff, like I like it.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite final form
Yeah.
of all the starters, and I just wanted to try something different. So I did that. I named him Colonel, so he's the Colonel. And then
Did you spell it colonel like?
oh yeah, he's
like
just
the actual
Colonel.
word, like the title.
And then I love Pidove. Out of all like the normal bird Pokemon,
Yeah.
the Pidove to Unpheasant is my favorite.
Yeah.
So I have to do that, even though I've done it before, in when I played White and stuff.
Yeah.
I got Lillipup because I also love Stoutland. I actually like a lot of Gen 5 Pokemon, it turns out. Just not the starters, I guess. So I have a Herdier now.
Yeah.
My Pidove just evolved into Tranquil, who I don't love that mid-evolution, but it's worth it to get an Unpheasant. And then I actually picked Growlithe, who you can get in like just after Roxy's gym.
Yeah.
And I never use Growlithe or Arcanine, but looking at the other available fire types, and I was kind of feeling a fire type, and then I really liked his sprite in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just thought I'm just gonna go with a Growlithe because I never use Arcanine.
Arcanine was a staple of my team for a very long time.
I've always been a Vulpix
Gen
person
1.
though, so I've always rather picked Vulpix and Ninetales.
So in Gen 1, I believe the first team that became my standard go-to team was Blastoise, either Victory Bell or Vileplume, depending on whether I was playing red or blue.
Right.
I think probably Hitmonlee.
Yeah, that was always a staple for you, I think.
Alakazam, and then later Hypno.
Yeah, you switched over to Hypno.
Because Hypno it was just easier in a lot of ways
You didn't have to trade
to
for
work
it.
with. And yeah, there was that. Abra was hard to catch.
Oh yeah,
Hypno
Notorious.
Hypno is sturdier.
yeah. Much less, squishy.
Yeah. And then like Pidgeot.
Oh yeah,
And
I
then
like Pidgeot too.
and then Jolteon.
Oh yeah, always.
And then I started
Not having a team of 6.
well, yeah, eventually, but of course when I was a little kid I was just using the rare candy cheat, so it didn't matter.
Right.
But and then I eventually decided, you know what? Dual types suck. Single types are king. And so instead of Vileplume or Victory Bell, I had Tangela.
Oh yeah.
And oh wait, did I? Hold on. Oh yeah, I did.
We're reversing.
Arcanine, Pidgeot, and then
Did you mention Arcanine?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think I did. Blastoise, Arcanine,
I was like, when does Arcanine come into this?
Tangela, Pidgeot, and then I think Hitmonlee.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
sounds right.
Oh wait, that's only 5, and then
Oh.
oh, how does that always happen?
I don't know. Every time I'm like, although this time,
Oh right,
I
electric,
remember my team.
Jolteon.
So
Yeah,
for this, I actually remember all 6 of mine.
Yeah.
Right now, so yeah, I've just always been a Ninetales person typically.
Oh yeah.
And Vulpix especially.
Well, and
So it's actually rare for me to do that.
And eventually, at one point, I think I was like, "Oh man, Vulpix learns Flamethrower at such an earlier
Much
level."
earlier. It's like 37, I think.
Yeah,
No, it's
35, I think.
34.
Yeah.
No, it's actually it's Pokemon number 37. That's why I thought about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like 34 or something.
Yeah.
It's nice that Growlithe and Arcanine have pretty even special and physical attack.
Yeah.
So I can kind of use any fire move, and it's pretty good. So that's been nice.
Yeah.
And Intimidate is so great. I love having Intimidate on something. And then my other one, another Gen 1 Pokemon that I never use, but am right now, is Magnemite.
Right. Yeah.
Who is
Who's actually
shockingly
very good. Yes.
Shockingly, get it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Obviously it's slow, but Steel is untouchable. I am resistant to everything. And pretty high special attack, so
Yeah.
that's been all right. And then my 6th slot was pretty open for a while. But sort of one to fill the Pokedex and to just fill up that spot until I replace it. I went and caught a Riolu, speaking of,
Okay.
at like level 5 or whatever, right? And I looked up where the Soothe Bell was, which is in Nimbasa, just after Route 4. And I was like, okay, that's not that far away. I'm just going to have Riolu in my party and walk around with it and hopefully get a little friendship.
Yeah.
And just not touch it. Keep it at level 5 until I get the Soothe Bell. Because I don't want to work that hard for a Lucario, was my thinking.
It looks like I'm going to have one pretty soon because I checked with Bianca and she said... What she said, I think it's between like 200 and 230 or something, and you need like 220 for it to evolve, something like that.
So you're basically there, yeah.
Yeah.
What level is it? I'm curious.
Ish. My whole team's around level 20, just shy of level 20.
Okay. So I just did this today, and I was very excited about it. So I got to Nimbasa, finally got the Soothe Bell, which is like behind the Pokemon Center, by the way. Attached that to him, and then I looked up what you can do basically for friendship in this game, and there's the Join Avenue. It's some place, it's between Route 4 and Nimbasa City, and some guy comes up to you and makes you the manager of this mall basically. And but when I looked into it, you have to like be friends with people in real life and like connect on your DSs and stuff to do anything here. And I'm like, okay, good. This is pointless. Got it.
Right.
For this like 10-year-old game. So probably 20 at this point. I don't even know. I don't know how old this is. So I'm like, that's not happening.
Oh wait, White too?
Right too. Yeah, 10 probably.
Yeah, it's only about 10.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it wasn't actually 20. Anyway, because there's like a beauty salon and a cafe you can open in there where you get like 50 friendship points every time you do something, or like it's like insanely easy. But that wasn't happening. So I found that there was on Route 5, just past Nimbasa, there's a berry salesperson. And this person every day will sell you 5 berries.
Right.
And it's always the berries that lower EVs and raise friendship. So it's like the palm egg and the like tomato and stuff like that, which are great for EV training, but also great for raising friendship. They do a ton of friendship.
No.
So I went and bought 5 of those, and then it went back to Castelia City, where there's somebody who gives your Pokemon a massage every day in the metal shop. So I went in there, gave Riolu the Soothe Bell, right? Level 5. I did the massage, which gives at least 10, I think, friendship. But Soothe Bell raises everything by 50%, I think.
Okay.
So pretty good. So it was at least 15 and up to like 50 from that, from the massage. And then I gave it all 5 of those berries, all 5 of them. So it lowered his HP EVs, I think, and just and raised friendship a lot, it turns out.
Yeah.
And then I had been walking with him for a while, so I mean that may have added to it as well. And then I went back to the ranch, the Flo Coley Ranch, or whatever it's called, because I read that if you raise their friendship in the same area you caught them, it actually gives you bonus friendship.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I confirmed that with another source that's totally a thing, apparently.
Okay.
Only in a couple gens, but it does work in this. And so, luckily there was a Dino and Shaking Grass at the ranch. So I did one battle with an Adino, and it went from level 5 to level 7.
Yeah.
And it evolved into Lucario. And I was like, are you kidding me? That was awesome. I was not expecting it to evolve already. So that's by far the best I've done a friendship evolution. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was like, this rules. So I literally have a level 7 Lucario right now, which I didn't even know was possible without like breeding or a friendship ball or something.
No.
You know, friendship balls, which are pretty rare in general, but you actually get them in Scarlet and Violet. They give the Pokemon you catch a base friendship of 200.
Wow.
200. I'm like, dude, you get a Riolu in like 2 levels without any other work. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely insane. So that's cool. That was good to know. But yeah, I could not be happier with with how easy that was, because I get like annoyed with friendship evolutions
Yeah.
because I just wanted to evolve, you know. So that was my fun adventure today that I had. So Lucario is now on my team, but now I have to actually, level him up and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't it cool that you get the EXP share like super early in this?
Oh yeah. I haven't used it much,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But like when you need it, it's nice. Like that'll be good for Lucario right now.
Yeah. So real quick before before I started White 2, a few episodes back I had talked about a Fire Red playthrough where I did a few like mods. Stop.
Me and the audience are having a secret conversation.
So like max IVs for all Pokemon in the game. And both mine and opponents.
You min-maxed everything.
Yeah, max IVs, and a few quality of life improvements from later gens, smarter AI, and a couple things like that. And I game sharked in to catch a Cubone in like Route 1 or something, that I could start with a team of 6 right away. That was like a good like dream team like thing.
That works good. Especially in Gen 1.
Yeah, I recently actually finished that playthrough finally.
Oh, good.
And it was interesting.
Was it super difficult in general?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to make the game all that difficult without just like being really brutal.
Right. Super Nuzlocke challenge mode Kaizo.
It's like Red Plus Plus was did it decently, but they had to like do a lot to make it hard. And Blue Kaizo obviously was hard too, but it again a lot of times it's just like making the levels of gym leaders like stupidly high. Like ridiculously high, and then
that's
like
just grinding. That
also
sucks.
exploiting bugs in the game to make it harder for the player and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to legitimately make the game difficult.
Yeah.
It would be really tough to do. You could do it, but you'd have to change it a lot. I will say the Elite Four was harder than I expected quite a bit. I wound up getting max EVs on all my Pokemon, which I've never done before.
Yeah.
Never. But it's because for part of the reason is I never had the ability to see the EVs that my Pokemon had. And this one of the mods that I included allowed you to see. There's a menu option
That's
for you
nice.
to see all of your EVs and IVs.
It's so nice in Scarlet and Violet that you just like hit the left bumper and you just see it all. So nice.
So yeah, I had max EVs, and I still struggled a bit until I had to be like a little higher level than I ever would normally have to be. So I would like Game Shark in Chanseys in
that's a
Victory
great way to
Road
level up.
to level up a little at a reasonable pace because
For sure.
trying to level up against Onyxes and
gosh.
Machops and
Awful.
Zubats and Victory Road is ridiculous. And I, of course, had already fought every trainer in the game at this point, so there was no one else to train against.
Right.
So yeah, I would just Game Shark in whatever was a good Pokemon to get certain EVs from and like target certain EV amounts.
Mm-hmm.
And and what's weird is Lorelei and Bruno were harder than Agatha and Lance by quite a lot, actually.
Was Lorelei's with Lapras just a beast?
Her Jinx was the hardest.
Oh, yeah. That
because
makes sense.
Jinx is fast.
Yeah. And not weak.
No.
Yeah. Decent stats.
And Bruno's team just wiped the floor with me, which
strong.
is funny because Bruno has always
He's usually
been
the
the
pushover.
easiest.
Yeah.
Like, I always laugh at Bruno. Like, how are you on the Elite
Yeah.
Four when I can so easily one-shot your whole team most of the time? But his Hitmonchan
Just wrecked you.
just messed me up.
That's awesome.
Also, actually, his Hitmonlee, too, which, again, so Hitmonlee is such a glass cannon
Right.
that he's really easy to
defense.
kill most of the time. But if he hits you first, he hits hard.
Fast and strong.
There's a reason
Yep.
I had Hitmonlee was
You've
a
used it,
mainstay
yeah.
on my team for a long time.
Yep, for sure.
But once I was a high enough level that I was consistently beating Lorelei and Bruno,
Yeah.
then Agatha, then I tried Agatha like 3 times, and once I beat Agatha solidly, I only lost to Lance like twice, and then the third time I fought him, he was easy, and then the champion was a pushover.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nice. You are nothing to me. Sorry, Gary.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how you beat Lorelei with this team because I'm crushing you right
Yeah.
now.
But you liked the team you got, do you think?
Yeah.
How was using a Marowak? Had you really ever used one extensively?
Only like
Barely, right? Yeah.
like once or twice in the past had I ever used one. Yeah.
I'm very excited to have a Magnezone.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's sad. I really want to use an Emolga
Yeah.
because he's pretty good, actually.
Uh-huh.
But I have a good electric type that I want to keep. So I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, Emolga.
Yeah, I'm happy to have. I'm gonna be happy to have Ampharos again. I love Ampharos.
Ampharos rules. Yeah.
He's kind of a funny looking Pokemon, but he's so yeah. Oh, also,
And Mareep's so cute. Great
my team
sheep
is a
line.
total like sausage fest in Gen
Oh,
5.
really?
I only have one female Pokemon.
Oh, that's funny.
All 4 of the others are male.
Yeah, I named all my Pokemon. I should tell you about them. I had Colonel, of course.
Yeah.
I have Pidove. His name's Hero,
Okay.
like Hiro, like
Oh, yeah.
Hiro. And then I have Herdier, whose name is Jefferson.
All right. Jefferson.
He seemed like a Jefferson to me.
Yeah.
And my Growlithe, her name is Gloria. It just fit her.
Apparently,
I don't know.
Jefferson, one of the most popular names to almost name a U.S. state.
Nice.
There are like 6 or
makes
7
sense.
states that were almost named
That,
Jefferson.
that makes me wonder, why isn't there a Jefferson state? That sounds like a state name.
And there's a
That's
couple
funny.
of like small parts of states that like call
sort-
themselves a different name.
we're
And I
sort
think
of
one of them
Jefferson.
does call themselves Jefferson
That's funny. That makes sense.
because they once tried to split off into their own state like over a century ago
Yeah.
and just never succeeded.
funny.
But yeah.
And then I have Magnemite. I named it Electric Zoo, which is the name of the song from the SpongeBob episode.
Yes.
It's like doo 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 doo. Yeah, you know.
Yep.
You weren't dancing. I don't know why. And then my Riolu now Lucario is named Theo. So there you go. I do have mostly males now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think Gloria is the only female. But yeah, I only name all my Pokemon if I decide that I'm like, this is this playthrough. I'm gonna name all my Pokemon, and
Yeah.
and just, whatever I feel like naming.
It's so rare that I nickname any of my Pokemon. But
I didn't in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
But
it's mostly because I'm just not very creative with names.
exactly.
So
Sometimes I don't feel creative, so
I just can't think of anything good most of the time, so I just don't.
yeah. This time I just went, I'm naming my Pokemon, so I have to come up with a clever name.
Yeah. I also like that so when you nickname a Pokemon, it retains the nickname through evolutions, whereas if you leave them their species name, they change as they evolve, and I kind of like that. But
yeah. I'm like, I forget like what the name of Snively's middle evolution is because he's Colonel to me. He's not. He's not Serpine or something. Whatever. Servine, I think is his name.
Servine. Yeah.
Servine. Yeah, I think that's it. Man, Vine Whip sucks.
Yeah,
I cannot tell you
does.
how much Vine Whip sucks. It's 35. That 35 power, you feel it.
Oh yeah,
You feel how bad that is.
the struggle often with a lot of Pokemon is just getting past that 40 power limit.
Yep, that first move, man.
There just need to be more 60 power moves.
Well, there are now. It's much
Yeah.
better. Like in this game, I have a better move for everybody right now.
It's just like when you had a fire type in Gen 1 or 2.
yeah, Gen 1 was so bad about that.
You get Ember and maybe Flame
you
Wheel
keep
and they're
Ember.
and that's it. And you don't get something with more than 40 power for a long time, and then finally you get Flamethrower, which is way more powerful.
Way more powerful. Like a huge jump.
Whereas with a water starter, you get Bubble, and then you get Water Gun, and then you get Bubble Beam, and then you get Surf, and you get
And Hydro Pump. Then there's another one.
Yeah, and they're well spaced.
Yep.
So that
They did it well with that and only that one.
Razor Leaf is strong, but you don't get it until like late.
Pretty late.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got Leaf Tornado really quickly before level 20,
Yeah.
But earlier today, oh my gosh, it was so annoying. It's a 90 accuracy move.
Right.
A 90 accuracy may as well be 20% accuracy.
Right.
Because it missed 3 times in a row.
And
I'm like, that shouldn't happen with a 90 accuracy move.
I've always had a thing about if it has less than 95, it's worthless. It's garbage.
It's worthless. Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
even bother.
Like, yeah. Because I don't feel like Fly misses very much.
Right.
Even though it's 95% accuracy.
Yeah.
But man, Leaf Tornado sucks.
It's funny. I was playing that glitchless Red and Blue playthrough. I think I talked about that already.
Yeah,
but
you did.
I used Tackle once and it missed, and I thought, wait a second, they didn't fix. I thought they fixed the Gen 1
They
miss.
made it
It's
95.
Like, oh right, Tackle has never been 100% accuracy, or at least it wasn't in any of the early gens. I think it is now.
It is now,
but has only been since like Gen 6 or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It
I was
used
like,
to be 100%
oh right, I
accuracy.
forgot that it was never a 100% accuracy.
So they
move
just
in the early
updated
games.
it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, so it still misses in this.
But it's supposed to. It's not 100% accuracy.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, I just got Fly for Pidove, which is great. Yeah. If you walk into, I don't know if it's when you walk into Route 5. If you get to Nimbasa City, just beeline straight to Route 5 to the left. Because Bianca shows up and gives you HM Fly.
Oh, nice.
So just go get that before you do anything.
Yeah.
And there's no stipulation in this game. It's not the stupid thing where you have to be at a certain gym to use an HM outside of
really?
They don't have that in this game. Oh, wow. You get the HM, you can fly immediately.
Nice.
No matter what gyms you've done. And being able to reuse TMs. I forgot that was added in Gen 5. Because it rules. I love having that. Is just such a nice improvement. I would say there's a lot of quality of life stuff in this game. It's really nice.
Dude, repels.
Yeah.
Would you like to use another? Yes, I would.
Yes, I would.
You read my mind.
Yep. Yeah. It's got a lot of the modern tweaks that I kind of need in Pokemon. Like people all over the place who just heal your Pokemon that aren't Pokemon centers. they're all over the place in this game, and it's awesome.
Yeah. My headcanon is that they don't have any special ability to heal. They just are
They're just
freaking
stocked.
loaded
Yeah.
with potions and revives and elixirs.
Their entire team is Chanseys, and they all come out and heal your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, something happens.
Because like someone
It's
was
magic.
like, why is it that all these NPCs can heal my Pokemon and I can't? It's like
You can.
I choose to believe that they don't have some ability to like they aren't like human Pokemon centers that they
Right, right.
happen to have a ton of these items and they just use them.
Yeah. How long until there's a key item that's like a Pokemon Center briefcase that you can just heal your Pokemon from your bag? Do you think they'll ever do something like that?
I hope not, but
I feel like that's too easy, right?
yeah. But so like there are tents in like Final
Yeah, like a
Fantasy.
tent.
When you're in the overworld,
You can only in like certain spots. You
yeah,
can't always
when
use
you're in
them.
the overworld, you can use it and it'll heal all of your party,
Everything.
heal
Yeah.
everything. But you have a limited number of them, and they're not super cheap.
Yeah. I think, or at least make you able to buy ethers and elixirs in Pokemon.
That I think we should have had
Yeah.
really all along,
The fact
but
you
at
can't
least
do that is weird.
in some of the recent gens.
Like Scarlet and Violet, you still can't do that.
yeah.
That's weird. Like, I can buy anything in Scarlet and Violet, but I
It's
can't
like
buy
there's
that.
nothing about an ether that's like, oh, this should be an exclusive item.
Right, this is magic or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they give you a ton. And, like, the sparkling items in Scarlet and Violet, they replenish.
Yeah.
And they can be ethers. So they aren't really limited.
Yeah.
But still, I should just be able to buy them.
Yeah, like
Very strange.
If I was making a Pokemon ROM hack, it would absolutely have ethers for sale in
Yeah.
Marts.
Like, at least the base ether or whatever.
Yeah.
Or at least Leapa berries. I don't know. Like, something.
Yeah.
Something that restores PP. Yeah. So, that's weird. That's a little weird. It makes me never use them.
Yeah.
Because they feel so limited, Yeah, I will see. I'll try to use them in black and white too. I'll let you know if I ever use them.
I was talking to somebody again about glitches because like that's still something people are talking about right now is glitches
Always.
in Scarlet and Violet and in games in general. And I was just like, before the year 2010, I don't remember getting a brand new launch title game and playing it normal, playing it straight without trying to do anything weird.
Yeah.
And experiencing any major bugs or glitches.
Right.
Just,
Totally agree.
It just didn't happen.
Totally agree.
The buggiest games I had played up until that point were Pokemon Red and Blue
Yep.
and Halo 2.
Yeah.
And those are and that's because I went out of my way to break the game in
Yes.
both those cases.
You went glitch hunting essentially.
And
yeah.
then I played Skyrim.
Skyrim. Notorious.
In the year 2011 when it first launched, and it was by far the buggiest,
You're like, what
glitchiest
is
game I
happening?
had ever played, ever. Game-breaking glitches I would encounter
Notorious, yeah.
just playing the normal game,
Right.
not making any attempt to break it or anything like that. And I thought this was a fluke. I thought this was a one-time thing, or it was... And then I had heard people say, oh, Bethesda is notorious for this. I'm like, okay, maybe this is just a Bethesda thing.
Yeah.
But then it kept happening.
But now it's just the norm.
And now it's the norm. And it's like, I remember a time when this was not the norm.
Yeah. I would say the games have gotten way bigger and more complicated and better graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
And deadlines have not gotten shorter.
Yeah.
So,
Or
or
they haven't gotten longer, I think you mean.
right. Yeah, they haven't
Yeah.
gotten longer. They've stayed short, I should say. And it just became like, well, we can always update it. So
Yeah.
just ship it, whatever.
Well,
I
and there
guess.
was a whole, I've talked about this before, but there was a whole video by Extra Credits on why games should no longer cost $60.
Yeah.
Because
They're too cheap.
that's been like a cap that the industry has refused to move past, at least by and large. Like there are $70+ games out there.
They're starting
But-
to trickle out.
But like
For sure.
the 60 has always been this kind of cap that they've been afraid to move past.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's been that way for well over a decade.
Yeah.
And inflation has gone up a lot, in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So, like, even just counting inflation in just the U.S. economy and counting nothing else, games should cost more than $60.
At least 65. I don't know. Like,
but
nope.
yeah,
That's capitalism,
but they're afraid
baby.
to do that. And like, who's gonna pay $150, let's say, for just not an ultimate legendary edition with the Halo helmet version, just the game?
The game. This is the new Halo, or
Because
the
frankly,
new Pokemon.
that 150, that's probably pretty close to what they should, quote unquote, cost at this point.
Right.
In terms of how much work, R&D, inflation, counting everything,
Marketing,
that's
distribution,
probably how much like a big epic AAA game should cost now.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to pay that for a one game. No one.
Oof, it's rough. Like, I would pay $80, say, right? A 33% increase or whatever to normal retail for like Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda that's coming out.
Okay. Yeah.
If they said, listen, we have to make it 80, but when I get it, it's as good, if not better, than Breath of the Wild and as polished as it should be, I'd be happy with my $80 purchase.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's understandable.
Yeah.
It took you forever to make.
Yeah.
And stuff's expensive. And I think there are games that are trickling out that are like 70 now for like PS5 and stuff.
Yeah.
I know like even some sports games are coming out and they're $70.
Yeah.
So, and we might see it slowly happening,
Yeah.
but it's been 60 for a long time.
It's like, at what point do you just say, how about we scale back?
Right. Maybe games are too big.
Even in at the AAA level.
Yeah.
Just like scale back a little bit, reduce the scope.
Maybe chill. Yeah.
So that you can make a good game and not have to charge.
Yeah. It's like they have movie logic.
Yeah.
That isn't good, because how many indie games are $20 and have sold millions and millions of copies?
At the rate, I feel like at the rate things are going, the AAA industry is. I doubt that the AAA industry is just going to explode and just like crater,
die off or whatever.
I'd be really surprised if that actually happened, but I think it's
But
gonna.
they seem to be running out of steam a little bit. I feel like
it's going out not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Yeah.
And that people are going for indie games because there's so much variety and there's a lot of really good ones and they're cheap.
There's a couple like standouts for AAA, which I think it's because it used to be the new COD and the new Assassin's Creed every year or whatever.
Right.
And they do seem to be slowing down. Like there hasn't been a new Assassin's Creed in a while, stuff like that. And I'm thinking of God of War. God of War Ragnarok is a recent game, sequel to God of War, which was insanely huge.
Right.
A lot of people's game of the year and whatever. But that game is huge in scope and like actually deep and like very, very, there was thought put into it, as opposed to, I feel like the Assassin's Creed Call of Duty style game. And like, I think that's the AAA games that are going to survive.
Yeah.
Are ones like God of War, where there's clearly some heart put into this and there was years of work put into it.
Yeah.
And I think even like normal consumers are going towards that and away from the more flashy, like Hollywood movie AAA games, if that makes sense. And yeah, because it is starting to slow down. That whole, I don't know, that vibe is going away, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't play any of that kind of crap. So one thing about glitches also, to track back to that, I hear a lot of people blaming Nintendo in general. And I'm like, Nintendo has nothing to do with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Like basically zero. Like Miyamoto has nothing to do with the new Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And they're like, but like, please look at Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 3, the new was probably their newest release instead of Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet is the Pokemon Company and Game Freak. They made that game. Nintendo made these games, which are extremely polished from the day they come out, and took years of development and are full of heart and all of these things. Like, please look at that.
Well, and also, and
Very
different.
different.
Like, Nintendo has pretty much.
They're the definition of polish.
Yeah.
Like, and still are, thank God.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, Pokemon's giving Nintendo a bad name a little bit, which is kind of weird.
Like, Nintendo AAA games tend to. That's the company I go to now for if I want a
100%.
stable new game.
100%.
If I want a game where, like, I'm not gonna like back in 2003 or whatever, when I would buy a game and know that if I played it straight and didn't veer off course, that I would not encounter bugs.
Yeah, that's a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I know Tears of the Kingdom is going to be good because they take Zelda very seriously.
Yep.
And it's been in development for over 5 years, I think. Like, a long time.
Yeah.
Like, they started right after Breath of the Wild, basically, which is kind of an old game now.
Yeah.
And, like, that's awesome. Like, because I know it wasn't made in a year like Scarlet and Violet was.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, pretty good game for it being
Absolutely.
for only taking that long to make or whatever. But the polish is noticeably different in those two games.
Yeah.
And just the fact that Breath of the Wild is a Wii U game. Actually, remember? Do you remember that it launched on the Wii U?
No, I did not remember that.
It came out on the Wii U.
Wow.
And then they ported it to Switch. Breath of the Wild is a port. Okay.
I did not remember this at all. What?
The first time I bought Breath of the Wild, I didn't have a Switch yet, so I got it on the Wii U.
Oh.
Yeah. Below your mind. Most people don't remember that.
Wow.
Because it's such a beautiful, well-made, like, modern feeling game.
Well, I didn't
that's how good Nintendo
I didn't
is.
hear about it until after the Switch had already come out.
It came out like at the end, like at the beginning of the Switch's life cycle. Like, I think it may have come out, I don't think it was at the same time on the Wii U and Switch, but it was very close to each other, like really close.
Because I thought Breath of the Wild was a launch title for the Switch. Well, I guess it probably
is.
was, but
It
like
is.
I didn't know. Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was the same time as the Wii U version or not.
Yeah.
But it's so impressive and just a testament to when Nintendo put the effort into a game.
Yeah.
What comes out. Yeah. I see you're looking. I'm actually really curious to know the dates between the two.
Okay, release date March 3rd, 2017.
Okay. March 3rd, 2017. That's an old game. That's crazy. I wasn't even married when Breath of the Wild came out.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Well, actually, I know that's true because I got a Switch for a wedding present.
Yeah.
So I know that I had it. That the Breath of the Wild was before I was
Same
married.
day.
Same day.
They launched at the same day.
They launched it both, which is so cool, like respectful to Wii U owners, I guess.
That makes more sense because knowing that it launched at basically for both consoles at the same time. Yeah. Like knowing, okay, that explains why I didn't really think
it's
about it.
Probably not technically a port, but I think it was first developed for Wii U, so I mean it kind of is.
Well, and I mean I'm pretty sure there were some like PS3 games that came out for the PS3 and 4 at the same time, and ones that came out with the PS4 and 5 at the same time. So
just one of those like sort of mid-generation games, like in the middle of
straddling the line between the old and new consoles. Yeah.
But so, and I think something similar might happen with Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, eventually they're going to come out with a new new console.
Been curious what the next Nintendo console is going to be.
I wonder if it'll just be a way more powerful Switch with maybe one little gimmick extra or something.
Yeah.
Or if it's going to be a completely new idea.
I haven't really heard much news on new consoles.
It's all speculation. Yeah. And it's all insane.
And I mean, obviously the chip shortages and such have had an impact
Huge
on
impact,
that.
of course.
Like I'm an audio guy. I've been mixing at our church
That's
for
why we sound
the past
so good.
14 years. I follow the news in the audio industry,
Yeah, chip news.
in regards to like the latest audio mixers.
Yeah, I follow chip news, but it's all about Doritos. So
And the last time a new like high feature, low budget digital mixer, the last time one came out, 2017.
jeez, because it's been rough. Let me tell you. Yeah, that's funny.
Because the early 2020s were probably going to be when they were all going to release their new consoles. Release.
We're going to release the Kraken.
Yes, release the Kraken. Release the hounds.
Release. I gotta really get through White 2 a little bit though.
Yeah.
Because on January 19th, just over a week away, so close, we are going to have Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden on the Switch, baby.
Yep.
And you know I'm gonna play Persona 4 again, and I can't wait. It's gonna be beautiful and amazing. And they're only $20 each, which is awesome. I think a copy of Persona 4 Golden for the Vita right now is like over $100.
Wow.
So that's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that.
At some point when I'm ready, I'm gonna play Persona 5.
Yeah, I know, me too. I still haven't touched it. I'm scared. I'm scared.
I have to be ready for that 100-hour commitment.
Yep. And for an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, I do that every time I watch a slice of life anime.
Oh, exactly. But it is that. It's a drama anime where you're just like, but you can't die. The magic, the little fairy cat has to save you or something. But it means a lot to you. Yeah. And I have to listen to Cassandra as Morgana. Yeah. My girl, you know. Yeah.
When the grocery store arc hits different.
Oh man, bro. When in K-On! When they go to the houseware store. Oh man, that's next level stuff.
Yeah. There was a meme and it was like, what do you guys even get excited about with slice of life anime? What, the grocery store arc hit different? And you're like, when the grocery the grocery store arc did hit different.
It did though. But nothing compares to the cultural festival.
Oh yeah,
nothing.
Obviously,
nothing compares. Okay, get with it.
I of course did not go to a cultural festival when I was in Japan because I'm pretty sure they don't do them this time of year.
No, I don't think so. I think there's probably a time of year for that.
Yeah,
I think it's summer-ish.
Yeah,
but not Golden Week.
Right.
That's more springtime.
And then there's Tanabata, but that's a specific
Tanabata, yeah. Oh, festival episodes. So good. Although I hate anime now, so I've actually sworn off. I'm off the stuff. I've been off the stuff for years. I'm going to cheat and play Persona 4, which is kind of just an anime. I love... Speaking of that and Pokemon, do you think Pokemon will ever add voice acting?
I wonder.
I really hope so.
I kind of thought this might be the gen where they did.
I also thought so. I think it would just be so much better. I know it would take so much longer and take way more money, but man, it'd be better.
I think it'd be kind of jarring. Like,
it'd be weird.
Playing Pokemon and then
it'd be weird
voices. I'm like, wait, what?
But they've slowly, added these things. Yeah. And I think it's the natural progression, and I think they will add something like that, which would be awesome. Yeah, really hope so. I think, there's some good cutscenes in Scarlet and Violet, and they would just be so much better with voice acting. Yeah. Like Nimona having a voice would be a lot more impactful is all, and just, hopefully someday we will see. The most notorious is the scene, people make fun of it all the time, in Sword and Shield when Pierce, the Dark Gym leader, is singing with his band and screaming into the mic, and it's just silent. Yeah, and it's just weird. It's very awkward, listen, and they gave a song to Roxy's Gym. Yeah, they could have added something, Yeah, whatever. Maybe someday. I'm really. We're actually pretty imminent for a Pokemon spin-off announcement of some sort. going by timelines.
Okay.
Like this was around in the Sword and Shield era when Arceus was teased, when Legends Arceus was teased, and after that spinoff, man, the next spinoff could be amazing.
Yeah.
Like because Legends Arceus ruled.
Well, I mean, another Legends game
I would love that.
of
Yeah.
the same format would be great.
Similar but improved or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and yeah,
That-
just a
'cause that
different
could just
region
be-
and yeah.
And that could just be a full offshoot. Like
Uh-huh.
that could have been Legends Gen 1. We
Yeah.
could have a Legends Gen 2 soon. You know,
Yeah.
like that would be really cool. So maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the podcast.
Yep.
Hope you like Pokemon. If not, man, that was probably kind of boring for you. And if you're listening, share it with a friend or tell someone in your Discord. Be like, hey, have you listened to the Brothers Game? They're like, oh, no, I haven't. That sounds like the best podcast ever. And follow us on Twitter at the Brothers G Pod.
Yep.
That would also be Poggers.
You can also check out our subreddit, r/Brothers Game Podcast.
Woohoo! Comment on when we're like, hey, this episode was posted. Comment and be like, I listened to it. It was all okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
And then in like 6 months, you might find this episode on YouTube.
Heck yeah. I was on it for like 2 days.
Yep.
And then I was like, never mind. Forget this.
Yeah.
I gotta
He's
get
busy.
I gotta go back on hiatus. Anyway, I have to go to sleep so I can be back here in the morning and
Yep.
make sandwiches. Because that's my life. Okay. I
Good
gotta
night,
pee.
everybody.
I also gotta pee really bad. So bye bye.